of Asia and parts of South America that live similarly to some people in Africa. And what I mean by that is by living off the land. They grow their own food, they hunt it, they build their own homes.
Africa look broke as hell. Africa look dangerous. Africa is dangerous. And
not one of them, you know, like we're different. We're ethnically different. Okay, cool, whatever. But you see historically, how far has that gotten us? Like people with real talk come over here and be like, oh, we're not the same as them because our genealogy traces back to this region.
Listen, I'm so happy seeing many African Americans coming out to say they are now embracing Africa and they want to visit Africa. They wish they knew this way before this time. And honestly, I'm so happy. But one thing that I also say is that I think IShowSpeed was born for this. But I don't want to talk much. Let's go into the video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe.
We're not Americans. We are Africans who happen to be in America. We were kidnapped and brought here against our will from Africa. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. That rock landed on us. Malcolm X. Peace.
Look, I am so enjoying IShowSpeed tour in Africa. I mean, all the countries being epic, but Kenya, bro, Kenya being epic. Do you know what I mean? I really enjoy Kenya as well, but all of it is beautiful. We've been telling y'all, everything you see on media is not the correct representation of Africa. And Ethiopia, coming to Ethiopia. Listen, Ethiopia is such a great country. I've been to Ethiopia when I was very young. I can't wait to go back there. But lady, Ethiopian lady, why would you try to scam on live with 9 million people watching your country? Like, you're giving that bad, representation. Like someone's come to your country trying to represent your country in a really positive way, and you're trying to do that for little money.
So I'm watching the speed stream, he's in Algeria living life, and I'm just thinking to myself, this guy is a good example of what we need more in the world, which is we need to just think less and just do. Like, this is the perfect way to travel. I love how he just tries different stuff. Just like you can see, he's just having fun. He's in the moment, trying the different foods, trying to go to the different places, speaking to random people. Like, that is the literal perfect way to travel and explore culture. If we lived more carefree like that, I think we'll be happier.
I just don't care. After IShowSpeed's Africa tour, you really can't convince me that Africans hate Black Americans. You just can't, because the reaction has been nothing but love and not hostility. Everywhere he's gone so far, people have shown him nothing but excitement towards him. If Africans hated Black Americans, you wouldn't see crowds welcoming him, celebrating him, and treating him like family. And most of the online narratives that some FBA folks be pushing don't match real life. It just doesn't, because most of the Africans hate Black Americans talk lives on social media. It lives online. Real life interaction show respect and connection. The internet exaggerates beef that regular people don't actually live by. And online beef looks serious, but regular people don't move like that in real life. And we're seeing it in real time because people in Africa relates to him as a young Black person and not as some American outsider. And that's what Pan-Africanism looks like in practice. And lastly, you got to think about it, because TikTok is a white bourgeoisie app, and so are Instagram and Facebook. So of course, these platforms are going to push content that makes it seem like Africans hate Black Americans and that Black Americans hate Africans. The elite doesn't want to see us united. So that's why we're going to have to take a step forward to actually put Pan-Africanism in practice.
let's talk about IShowSpeed for a minute. Y'all peep this shit. So, IShowSpeed has been doing some kind of, I don't know how many days he planned on doing this shit. But baby boy has been going all over the continent of Africa, pretty much debunking the fuck out of everything that was taught to us. Everything that was taught to us was African hated us. Africans can't stand us. Africa look primitive. Africa look broke as hell. Africa look dangerous. Africa is dangerous. And yada, 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 right? And then social media started coming out. And a lot of creators started seeing how beautiful and gorgeous and stunning Africa truly is. But my thing is, why did it take all the way until IShowSpeed to show y'all the truth? Like I said, there has been plenty of content creators from Africa showing y'all the true Africa. How come y'all didn't pay attention then? Matter of fact, when all these little goofy group troops that be coming up to me talking about some, well, if you don't like being in America, then go back to Africa. Why the fuck did y'all think I posted up my damn Cash App just so these motherfuckers can send me money so I can go back the fuck back to Africa? The fuck? So with that being said, big huge shout out to IShowSpeed. But at the exact same time, honey, this truth been out. Y'all should have been knew about this shit. Matter of fact, I already done told y'all about fucking Africa last fucking year. Let's not forget, in Ghana, they over there building a neighborhood just for African Americans. Oh, y'all ain't know that, right? Well, guess what? Now you do. So with that being said, to the next motherfucker that tell me to go back to fucking Africa, there's my Cash App right there. Help me get the fuck up out of here.
Bro, all black people who are against Pan-Africanism or New Africans or anybody who wants African black solidarity, why are you like that? Why are you so divisive? Like African Americans, even a lot of Africans, Caribbeans, you'll come on here and be like, I'm not one of them. You know, like we're different. We're ethnically different. Okay, cool, whatever. But you see historically, how far has that gotten us? Like people with real talk come on here and be like, oh, we're not the same as them because our genealogy traces back to this region. We have European ancestry, or our haplogroup is it. Like, why is that, man? That's so trivial. Like, people who worry about that, it's so nonsensical because every single black person, everybody with dark skin, coarse hair, big noses, bro, we all get the same treatment, right? Like, capitalism treats us all the same, right? The way we were exploited historically is all the same. So why do you want to be so divisive? Like, there's power in numbers. Like, global black unity would do you so much better than, like, a couple African Americans. Or I don't like them because they're Jamaican. Or they're Yoruba. Or they're Somali. Or they're from Zimbabwe. I don't like them. Like, you feel me? Like, it's kind of just slow. Like, bro, the more we argue amongst each other, the more the enemy benefits. The more that capitalism, white supremacy benefits. Because we know that anti-blackness is global. Black pessimism is a truth. So, I mean, no matter how much you want to sit here and argue, hey, if you're Yoruba, I'm willing to work with you. If you're black, as long as you're actually progressive and you care about black women, black men, black children, I'm willing to work with you. I don't care what country you're from. And people who do, man, it's like y'all are just defectors.
If Africa was really such a shithole, you have to ask yourself why the West would dedicate so much of their time, energy, and resources into trying to convince you of that fact. If you know that truly nothing good comes out of a particular area, you're not going to invest any of your energy in any capacity into that place. This is a bit of a follow-up to the video I made about Speed and his Africa tour. I had a lot of people in the comments telling me that Americans have been propagandized, which obviously, but I'm here to encourage a little bit of critical thinking. There are societies out there in parts of Asia, in parts of South America that live similarly to some people in Africa. And what I mean by that is by living off the land. They grow their own food, they hunt it, they build their own homes. There are people who live like that in societies that are disconnected from the rest of us, but you don't hear about them. The West does not feed you propaganda about those societies, and you have to ask yourself why. Because there's nothing to be gained there. But there's a lot to be gained when you try to convince the world that the largest continent on the planet, with the youngest population on the planet, with the most amount of natural resources on the planet, has nothing good going for itself. There's a lot to be gained through that level of propaganda. Because while you're over here paying attention to the West and its entertainment and the illusion and the facade that it's created for you, the West is over here on this side silently milking Africa for its resources to continue powering the illusion and the facade that they've created for you on the other side. The same people that are telling you that Africa is poor and has no value are the same people literally stealing all of their natural resources.
To all the Africans and African Americans who are using the dumb ass excuse of, oh, well, the Africans said this about me. The African Americans said this about me. Y'all are not African. Y'all not American. Y'all not this, y'all not this. To all of y'all weak mother suckers, please step aside, okay? Y'all are not revolutionary. Y'all are weak. Y'all just arguing with your family, all right? And it's embarrassing. It's not needed. We don't care about your little petty arguments. Oh, they called me this. Oh, they called me that. Oh, they said this. Oh, they're stealing our resource. We don't want to hear that bullshit. Just say that you're weak and you can't handle the real struggle. You can't handle the real problem. So you got to make shit up and go against your own. Just say that. I would respect that more than you coming on my page, coming on panels, complaining about somebody calling you a name or somebody stealing resources that you don't have. They not stealing your resources. You're just trying to find a reason. And for all of you who keep saying, well, what's the problem if we want to just focus on our own? Because they are our own. African Americans and Africans are cousins. We are each other's people. And when you're excluding somebody, it's just like excluding from the family. Oh, this is my brother and sister, but fuck my cousin. It sounds stupid. You're not just focusing on your own. Oh, I mean, it's just dumb. Oh, well, if you're born in America, I'll focus on you. But if you're born on the continent, I don't want nothing to do with you. What's wrong with y'all? If y'all born on the continent, I'll focus on you. But if you're born in America, I don't want nothing to do with y'all. Learn your history, right? And honor your ancestors, because your ancestors wasn't on that bullshit. They knew the strength in the numbers. They knew it was time to come together. So no matter how much y'all bitch and cry, we don't want to hear that shit. The real people that's trying to unite, we don't want to hear that shit. Go cry to your mama. All right? Or go cry to your organization that you keep trying to call a lineage. Or go cry to your tribe's people. Whoever, go cry to them. The ones that are uniting are the stronger ones, period, point blank. The smarter ones, period, point blank. The better ones, period, point blank. And we tired of you infesting the community with your bullshit.
The mask is sleeping. Everything they told Europeans and Americans and people around the world about Africans, that mask is sleeping. All the propaganda, all the years of propaganda of Africans full of flies and mucus and everything is sleeping. Because you know what? People like IShowSpeed is in Africa. And the comments that people are making is, wow, we didn't actually realize Africa was that nice. The things they told us about Africans, of course they told you those things about Africans. Of course they said all those things about Africans so that they can justify everything that they've ever done to Africans, the enslavement of Africans, the exploitation of Africans, and all the bullshit that Africans have been put through. But you know what? The truth always comes out in the end. It always comes out in the end. And you know what? Like we always say, shame the devil. Shame the devil. The truth will always shame the devil. Because IShowSpeed is showing people in America just how beautiful Africa is. Well, it is. Even people who don't have a lot, they're happy. I can tell you now, when I go to Kenya, I'm always so surprised to see just how happy people are compared to the people in the UK or even people in America, just so miserable all the time.
So just some food for thought. I was watching IShowSpeed's tour of different African countries this past week, and I was just really looking back on how, from a young age, we're socially conditioned to fear going to Africa, stigmatize Africa as this uncivilized wasteland of like huts and whatnot. And yet, when IShowSpeed went to these different European countries back in the summer of 2025, and people were literally hurling slurs at him, throwing literal bananas, making ooh-ooh-ah-ah noises, and things even worse, yet people don't want to address that, but yet still simultaneously want to romanticize going to Greece or Italy or France, yet going to any African country, any predominantly black country like Jamaica, Brazil, Haiti, you name it, that's the ones that you should be avoiding?
The people on here that's like, oh my God, that country of Africa, I didn't know it was like that. Oh my God, I didn't know that Africa, that country of Africa had cities and skyscrapers. I thought everybody lived in sticks and mud huts. Most of the people who are making those videos are being unserious. Their entire purpose of making those videos is to get attention, go viral, and rage bait Americans. Because they know that everybody in that comment section is going to say that this person is American, even if they have a British accent, because I've seen that. I've seen a British guy do that, and he clearly had a British accent, and everybody in the comment section was talking about the American education system. So this is a way to throw an unnecessary, unprovoked jab at Americans, and specifically Black Americans. I can always see through bullshit. I always can tell when somebody's posting something just for the sake of going viral. I can always tell when something is disingenuous. Now, am I saying that there's not people here that are dumbasses? No, there's dumbasses all over the world. But what I am saying is that the vast majority of Americans, Black Americans, whatever, do not think that Africa is a country, and do not think that Africans in general all live in mud huts and stick houses. So whenever I see somebody online like, oh my God, that country of Africa, I had no idea. That's bullshit. They're doing that to slight Americans because they already know that the comment section is going to be full of American xenophobic hate. And you cannot convince me otherwise, because I see through all bullshit.
Adam and Eve were not the first humans. They were the first hybrids, but not the first humans. The first humans on Earth were actually the Sasquatch. Yeah, what we call Bigfoot. They're literally the ancient Earth beings that were already here long before the hybrid program was created. I know. Some of you are gonna want to fight me in the comments. Some of your egos are already exploding, probably. Some of you are going to reference your Bible and everything that you were taught. And that's okay, and I actually don't blame you, because you've been told a fantasy version of Earth history for thousands of years. It's been repeated over thousands of years. So you were raised on a myth, not the actual mechanics and the actual truth. It's like telling kids that Santa, it's real, and they believe it until they have the awareness of the actual truth. But I'm just gonna remind you that I'm just your alarm clock that you set in spirit before you incarnated. And so if this video found you, it's not random. Your consciousness wanted to hear this. Why? That's none of my business. That's between you and your soul. Maybe it's time for your awakening. Maybe you're ready to evolve. Maybe, I don't know, you're becoming more aware of your triggers so you can transcend them. But anyways, that's still none of my business. I'm just a messenger of the truth. Don't shoot me. Don't fight me. Don't try to convince me of the Bible scriptures. I'm not interested. And I want you to keep believing in whatever you believe in. That's your own path. Please continue. Now, if you are ready, let's actually talk about the truth. For those who are actually ready to know the truth, let's talk about why the star races, aka the aliens, created the first hybrids and what that means for your soul's blueprint. So the part that nobody teaches you in Sunday school is that the original earth bodies, the Sasquatch beings, aka Bigfoot, aka the original humans, were not designed for awakening because they had animal consciousness, not soul conscious beings. So yeah, they were powerful, they were instinctual, they were primal, but they didn't have the neurological architecture to hold higher consciousness. Like, for example, they had no self-awareness, they had no ability for introspection, and Earth was being prepared as a spiritual university because this was becoming a place where souls can evolve very fast. Thing is that you can't evolve fast if your body can't hold a lot of light at once. The Anunnaki and other star races, they stepped in, not to enslave humanity, but to actually upgrade the vessel, basically DNA activation. So what they did was they mixed their genetic intelligence with the earth bodies that were already here, aka the Sasquatch, aka the Bigfoot, aka the ones that we thought we evolved from monkeys, that thing. So they created that hybrid so that we could awaken, self-reflect, feel emotions deeply, remember God, or remember that we are God, expand consciousness, choose timelines, evolve spiritually. And so that, baby, is the real Adam and Eve story, not the apple, not the bullshit that you've heard. It's literally a whole cosmic DNA collaboration. So your soul incarnated and inhabited this body, the hybrid body, that was literally engineered to awaken, to evolve, to remember who you are. If you've been feeling yourself waking up, questioning things, breaking old beliefs, it's because your DNA is upgrading. Your DNA is doing exactly what it was designed to do. If you want to understand the blueprint that your soul chose for this particular incarnation, the lessons, the karma, your gifts, your destiny, that's exactly what the soul contract report that I offer reveals to you. So if you're truly interested in this, and this is what you're doing, introspection, really soul analysis, the link is in my bio to decode your soul's path in this lifetime.
What do you mean I'm black? I'm not black, I'm African. And he goes, y'all Negroes are the same. But first day, usually in America, in college system, they give you a paper to fill out. When I filled out, I put other and I put African because the tick is black/African American. Now, I don't have a blue passport. So in my head, I'm no black or African American because I don't have a blue passport. That was my understanding what race was. He literally calls me when class was ending. He's like, oh, like, no. Like, you take black or African American, you black. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not black. I'm actually African. Because in my mind, this is fresh off the boat, Sophie, 2014. I'm not black. What do you mean I'm black? I'm not black, I'm African. And he goes, y'all Negroes are the same. Not the cameraman doing hot. The word Negro and nigger does not mean anything to me. Not because I don't know history, but because at that point, I didn't understand the impact of the slur. I'd heard it was a slur, but I didn't understand the impact of it because it had no impact on me. I could tell he was upset, but I couldn't understand why he was upset
about.
I don't know.
How dare she try to other herself?
Yeah.
Like, I know a nigga when I see a nigga.
He said Negro. He didn't say nigga. He said Negro.
Yeah, but that's what he bad, basically.
Negro is even deeper. Nigga's even casual.
How dare you disrespect my eyesight?
Yeah.
Listen, IShowSpeed was born for this. No matter how you look at it, IShowSpeed was born for this. Because tell me how a young guy, 20 years old, he's now going to 21 and doing this. Like, just look at the treatment that he got in North Africa. Not all the places though, he's still in Morocco, but some of the treatment that he got, but still this guy is pushing. It's like he's on a mission, trying to showcase Africa. And many people were like, oh, don't go to North Africa, don't go to North Africa. But he went there. Listen, no matter how you look at it, we are all Africans. Whether North Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, Southern Africa, East Africa, we are all one. And honestly, one thing that I really want to say is that IShowSpeed was born for this. And I think this is an awakening time for Africans in the diaspora and Africans in Africa to come together. We don't need any hate speech, whatever, the FBA thing. Listen, we should come together because you are talking about Africa is this, Africa is that. But the people that sold to you this narrative are in Africa living their best life. And you are there thinking about Africans that come to America to do, like, listen, this is the time for us to come together. This is the time. Travel to Africa, explore Africa, get to know other African countries, the culture and everything. We have different tribes, different countries. Like, wherever you go and you feel at home, just make that place your home. Simple. Thank you so much for watching.